Hello, my name is Randy Dobson. I'm an instructor here in the Houston, Texas area. And this video will be on AutoCAD 3D, just some helpful hints, just kind of brushing on a few things. There's most everything I want to be covering here is being covered in individual videos, but I just kind of want to go over some things, just kind of briefly on every little thing. Um, that once you have your 3D open here, you have your primitives over here, which are starting points, which I go over in those courses, I mean in those videos. And here you've got extrude, which is really these four commands will take a 2D object and convert it into a 3D solid. These you use quite often, and they go across all different types of software. They extrude means the same thing in other softwares. um, of course, the hardest thing for students to recognize is just working in a 3D environment. Uh, and what I suggest is whenever you can, use as much 2D as you can to create your object because you're already very familiar with that, and then use 3D to maybe modify it or just finish it up. If I was to come over here and say draw a polyline like this, um, put an arc on it, come down here with another line, put an arc on it, and we'll just end it right there, kind of close it up. I know it's not perfect. There's a closed object, and say that I'm just doing 2D. Um, these are just circles, just 2D objects. Okay, so I've created this. Now if I just go to extrude, I grab all of this, extrude it up, and then come up here to the subtract. I've created this object. Okay, and as you see, most of what I did was done through 2D. All I used was extrude and subtract to finish it off. But that's one thing. Whenever you can see something as a 2D, that you could use extrude or loft or revolve or sweep. And again, I prefer my students watch this video after they've watched those other ones so they kind of have a feel for them. But one of the larger issues is dealing with the planes. As you see, you can see here, I'm on the top plane, world, and if I go to left, you can see my grid is now this way, which is pretty much like the face of here. And then the front would be going this way, just like on the face of here. Now, let me go back to world. You will find over here in your customization a very nice tool called Dynamic UCS. There it is. Let me make sure that it is on. Uh, okay, there it is. Right here, I'm making sure that it's on. What that allows you to do is dynamic. I can pick this plane if I wanted to say draw a cylinder off of this right here. As you can see, it picked this plane. Let me turn off my ortho. I think that has something to do with it too. There we go. And as you can see, I can draw a cylinder off of there. I can go to cylinder here. I can pick this side over here, come over 5, and then just so I can make any of these edges, these planes, even this one right here, this I can make it my working plane if I need to draw something very quickly. Now, if you're going to be doing a lot more work, let's just say on this wedge right here, if I was going to need to get some more work done, I want this to be my working plane, meaning that's my flat surface I want to work on. There's two ways of doing it. The easiest way is really just to come over to your icon, click on it once, and then click on the little blue where they all match. drag it over to that surface. Now I want you to watch the grid. When I click on it, now this is my working surface. Okay, I don't have to do anything special. I can draw a circle right there. Um, get some of this stuff turned off here. I'm going to draw a circle. Seem to have some things on for some reason. And let me draw another circle. Oops, I'm sorry. Circle there. Still not sure why I'm snapping to those things. It's really kind of odd. Make sure they're off now. Yeah, they're off now. So I'm going to draw lines. And where this is at, let me get rid of that one. That was kind of a mistake. This is my working plane. So if I go back to world up here, and I look at this stuff from the side, you'll see how it was all on that plane, because this was my working plane. This is it here now. So imagine if you had a drafting table and you leaned it up and you were doing your drawings on that drafting table. That's what it is understanding that really you're only working on one surface at a time, but knowing that you have to pick the correct surface to work on whenever you're doing that. And you can come in here and set these again. Let me go over here and click on, let me go back to home, and I'm going to click on this icon, click on the blue part, and I'm going to click right there. And as you can see, now this is my working plane. So if I come over here and draw a circle, let's see if it'll, there we go, circle, and I draw lines. It's just like this is my flat board. Just like if I go to top, this is what you remember. See, I'm sitting here drawing this just like it's 2D. Okay, looking at it from the top. And I can come over here and draw ellipse, whatever I need to do. But whenever I go back to world, which is here, as you can see, there's my plane that I was working on right there. Just like there was that plane. Okay. Yes, 3D is a little bit more complicated than 2D, but it's definitely learnable. If you've passed courses in 2D, you can learn 3D. The biggest problem that I have with any student that either doesn't learn it very well or struggles is they put up barriers that they find it to be very hard. Remember, this isn't rocket science, but just understand that it is very easy to do. You just can't put up any barriers looking at it very, very hard. Okay, as I show some of my students, I'm going to draw something here real quick, and actually what I'm going to do is just to kind of put something out here. I'm gonna put this up here just so you can watch this. This is actually Saturday night after the Vikings won unbelievable game. I'm going to draw something off to the side so you can't see it, and I want you to understand that AutoCAD is just more, 3D is just more intimidating than it really is, and not to let it really again intimidate you. I don't want you to do that. So I'm going to bring this back over. That's enough for the Vikings. I'm going to bring this back over for you. My screen will let me. See, okay, a little technical difficulty, but here we go. So what I did is I went over there and drew this. Okay. Uh, if I was to say I want you to draw something like this, now in the time I was talking to you, I drew this. Okay. Um, and you may say, oh, it's because you're experienced and you know what you're doing. Yes, it is, but it's also that it's very easy. It's just like a magic trick. Once you know the trick, it doesn't seem so amazing anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I did this. I'm going to undo. You see this nice complicated drawing? There it is, right there. That is my complicated drawing. What I did is I drew a P line, just a simple old P line. I came up here to revolve. I picked this. I gave it a revolve, type in 360, and there's my complicated drawing. Okay, so no, it wasn't complicated at all. It just depends on how you envision it. Again, ask questions. Don't get frustrated. Don't get stressed over it. Uh, and we will get through this, and you'll learn 3D very well. And that concludes my video on 3D helpful hints. Thank you.